okay? I want you to tell me how many losses Michigan's going to have when this month completes. And if you want to offer, you don't have to, but when you want to offer, pinpoint the teams they lose moving forward, or are they going to be 21-0? I'm going to start with the captain.
What was the question? How many what?
What's their record going to, how many losses will they have when they leave the Breslin Center on January 30th, which is a Friday night, Tom Izzo's birthday? We're going to start with Chris.
What were the games of, Tom? Let me make sure.
Oh, okay. Let me go again. We'll do it again. I want you to vote. Wisconsin at home.
Yeah.
And then they go to Washington and Oregon next week. 2 road games. Then they come back for 3 straight home games. They got Indiana at home. They got Ohio State at home. And Nebraska at home. Those 3 in a row. Then they go to EL to the Bres. Okay?
Ooh.
So, CY, number 45 out of Detroit Catholic Central. You lead us off. What's that record going to be, and what do you see these next 7 games bring from?
All right, so you guys can go back and check tape, all of our millions of listeners. I said on our last podcast, I said Michigan will probably drop 1 game in February. I was expecting it to be one of the West Coast games, either Washington or maybe the Oregon game.
January. He's talking about January.
We're talking about January. Yeah, I'm talking about January.
Yeah.
And I said I thought they would probably drop 1. They would definitely have a scare out west or something like that. I think this near loss to Penn State has woken them up enough where, I watched that Michigan State-Nebraska game real close. I don't think Nebraska can put up the points to beat Michigan.
I agree.
I think Michigan can outplay them without too much of a problem. I think their size and length. I don't see anybody on Michigan's schedule coming up over the course of the next month, leading up to the game in EL, that's going to give them a loss. If they come out and play, at least the same level that they played last night.
All right,
they're going to beat all these teams.
Okay, so that means
my prediction is coming into EL, they're undefeated.
No, but I want to talk about.
I think leaving EL, they're going to be undefeated.
Whoa, 21-0 for CY.
That's my prediction.
All right. Can
21-0 for CY.
Ooh,
Okay.
I got 1 loss. Michigan
Okay,
State.
Mark, you go second.
I got Michigan State.
Michigan State beat them?
20-0 going into EL at the Bres.
You'll be undefeated. Well, let me get before I hit that go button.
You just did.
All right. What is it with Nebraska? Are they good? Are they fake good? What? And if they're good,
I watched that game real close that Sparty played out there, and they're tough, but they scored 56 points or 58 points. Like they're not a scoring team. They got 1 or 2 guys that can kind of go, and everybody else is just
they were
kind of a big.
Ohio State. Did you watch?
They're just kind of big bruisers, and Michigan State shot the ball very poorly, and that's why they didn't win. Like
are they loose with the bat? Do they play up tempo or they slow it down?
Slow it down. Yeah, they want to try and slow it down. Which okay.
They got the Sam Hoiberg, the coach's son, who's the leader of that team. He's just a gritty guy, and it's.
But the problem with Sam Hoiberg is he's 6 foot, 6'1". Like he's a tiny little dude. Like he's not. Put LJ Kaysen on him. And let LJ's length and athleticism deal with it.
21-0.
I got 1 loss.
Leaving the Bres.
I think it's Michigan's.
Mark has 20-1, right? 20-1.
We got Nebraska at home, right? Yeah. So,
okay.
But if it was on the road, I might say Nebraska because it wasn't just rebounding last night.
Yeah.
They started tricking that ball off again.
Yeah.
Like we have seen them
real loose with it.
Loose, just raggedy with it.
Yeah. Okay. Norquist, Mr. Norquist, go ahead.
I will agree with CY and raise him. I think I would be worried about any road games, but I think Michigan ends the season undefeated.
The season?
January.
Excuse me. Until the Big Ten before, I think that they go like 30-0.
No, it's 31. Okay, they
31-0 games. I do. I do.
They down the Nets in Indy.
40-0. The one thing is, I have them walking into the Final Four. Walking. Okay. When it comes to the Final Four, man, like if they have one of those, they're going to be the most talented team.
They're not a good free throw shooting team either. They're not a good free throw shooting team. Listen,
if they lay an egg, but they're going to walk into the Final Four.
Okay, so you got them 21-0. Okay.
And I'll raise you the whole month of February.
And I'm gonna agree with Mark Dodson, and I hope the hell I'm wrong. I have them going into the Brez at 20-0, but that place is Chris can talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
That is a house of hell.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you're playing 5 on 8 out there. Regardless of what anybody says, you're playing 5 against 8 because the referees you're getting every fucking call against you out there. That's how it's
part of it. And Izzo's going to bitch about every effing call, from day one. And DJ Carstensen will be the ref. I guarantee you. Yep. And he F's up every freaking time.
You know who Michigan reminds me of, and this is a direct correlation, is Duke last year. Duke had the most talent by far in the nation, and they got beat by Houston in a weird ass game. Yep. So if I'm a Michigan fan, I'm saying, whoa, we gotta. But as far as talent wise, to me, I've seen Arizona. Michigan is uber talented.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's not going to lose a home game this year.
No,
they will bury Michigan State.
I don't really know if that's a hot take, Tom.
No.
Well, okay. Well, but they got you.
No, it's not a hot take. He's just spitting facts.
March 8th, Michigan State comes to town to close Senior Day, right?
Yeah.
Senior Day for Will Cheddar and
Namari.
I'm trying to think who else is on.
Namari and Roddy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying Michigan can't lose to Michigan. I'm not saying Michigan can't lose to Michigan State, but Michigan is way more talented 1 through 5.
I'm not talking about talent. I'm projecting what's going to happen from you experts, okay? That's what I got.
Well, Namari and Roddy, that should be Social Security Day.
Yeah, Namari, forgot. No, so Senior Day, and the students will be there.
Yeah.
The students will be there on March. That's important,
mm-hmm.
I think. The Maze Race will make – you watch the Maze Race, it's going to be on there on Saturday. Chrysler's going to be crazy on